Hi, my name is Bob Guest and this is the dissertation proposal on what elements of video games help to create immersive experiences and is virtual reality immersive? So the summary of my dissertation topic involves what types of immersion are there, what immerses you in a video game, and immersion within virtual reality. So the significance of the study revolves around virtual reality and whether it is immersive. So immersion helps to keep people's attention. Without immersion, people wouldn't be as interested in games as what they are. In recent years, virtual reality has blown up in the industry. Virtual reality headsets have become a big hit in modern technology in a very short time, filling up news and gaming channels very quickly in a short space of time. It's because of the news and virtual reality becoming such a big hit so quickly that I've decided to study this and use it as my topic. The research questions in this dissertation will be: what is immersion? How do video games create immersive experiences? And how does virtual reality impact immersive experiences? So the studies I'll be doing during this dissertation will include definitions of immersion. There are several different types of immersion. Immersion is not just a single form, it comes in many different ways and experiences, and it affects individuals differently. I'll also be studying different elements of game design, which would include music and sound, to environments, textures, everything that is put in to create a game in a way will help immerse the player and is worth studying. And virtual reality technology and experience. The experience of virtual reality is a very new thing in modern gaming. So for the morphology, it will be mainly secondary research. I'll also be using the university library for any books that are needed, and my Athens Academy journal bank for anything else that I need to locate and find. With these online sources, I'll be able to take quotations from the research I've found, and I will have an academic backing for my work. I will now go on to the core research. What do we mean when we call a game immersive? Stewart 2010. This article provides a large amount of research into what immersion can be. His view on immersion talks about how the human brain will quickly grasp whether something is immersive or not, even if the scene is very fast and you're not going to see everything that's on the screen. You can still tell if it's immersive or not to you individually. Because this article talks about the human brain and how it works with immersion, I'll be able to take this apart. I'll be able to use it to write about the human brain and immersion, and I'll be able to use other information that I find on immersion, like different definitions of immersion, and focus on other ways that immersion can happen. This article about Mirror's Edge talks about how colour can influence the brain. With red being the main colour in the game, I believe it's a great game mechanic for players as they will slowly see the colour red and know to follow it. I believe this is a good way to immerse a player, as they will be able to know where they're going before they actually get there. Not only is this a good game mechanic, but this also immerses the player without them realizing that they're immersed in this. VR devs call for restraint on horror games and jump scares. This article talks about how virtual reality is, although it's a good thing, it can also have its bad side. And in this case, horror games, putting the player in a horror game, putting them so close to the gore and the action that they're seeing can be a big impactor on whether they're going to play the game. And this could affect people mentally, as seeing something so up close and not being able to really get away from it would scare somebody. Whereas if you've got a TV in front of you and you're playing without having the VR on, you've got a distance from the TV and yourself, so you've got that chance to be able to have a jump scare and relax yourself. Whereas in VR, the action's in front of you. You can't stop and have a rest. You have to carry on, and some people might think it's too much, or the gore might be too much, and they won't be able to handle what they're seeing in front of them. Reality. How virtual reality works. This article is written by Jonathan Strickland, and it talks about what immersion is when using the virtual reality headset. A key part in this article is how he talks about the frames per second. The frames per second, obviously, if it's below 30 frames, then what you're seeing is not true to life. So whereas on a screen slowed down, like frames per second slowed down, you can handle it and you know what's going on. If it's in VR, you'll be off balanced when you're playing, and it will ruin the immersion as you play. Catwalk, a locomotion solution for VR gaming. This article is more of an advertisement, but it is a omnidirectional VR treadmill. So basically, with normal VR games, you've just got yourself and you can move around wherever the VR can take you. So if it's connected by a cable, you'll only be able to go so far. In the catwalk, the floor will move along with you. So you can walk forward, and without actually going anywhere, the game will respond and make you move forward. So in the VR world, you'll be moving around freely, but in reality, you won't be walking anywhere. I believe this is a good add-on for VR, as it will allow VR users to become very immersed in games. RPGs such as Skyrim will seem much easier to play, as walking around the large environments won't be such a hard task. Scopes and constraints. So for the research, I'll have to make sure that any research that I get, any sources and links, will still be available after the dissertation is completed and handed in. Most of the information that I'll be gathering will be recent information, so the internet will be my primary source of information for modern VR links and sources. The only other problem I could have while writing this dissertation is time constraint. With other projects going on, I'll need to manage my time well in order to stay on track and finish the dissertation in time. Resources. The writer has the main equipment to write the dissertation at home, but if needed, the university resources are there at my disposal to use. The writer has reading material at the university library and also the internet for any articles that would not be in books. Along with that, any material that is at home, the writer will be able to use. The software needed to complete the dissertation, the writer has at his own disposal, and if needed, at the university as well. Here's a timetable that I'll be using to allocate my time in the right places so not to fall behind and potentially hand in late. Here is the outline of the chapters for the dissertation. You have the introduction, significance of the study, research questions, types of immersion, elements of immersion in video games, virtual reality immersion, and the conclusion. Here are a list of the references used in this presentation and in the proposal. Thank you for listening.